Hey, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a lovely, productive day on today. In today's video, we are going to be going over when to pay your credit card bill to increase your credit score fast. But before we get into it, make sure that you guys like, comment, and subscribe and press that bell notification button so you'll be notified every single time that I post. Let's get into it. Okay, so when it comes to paying your credit card bill, there's two dates that you want to make note of. You have your due date and then your statement date. Your due date is the date you want to pay at least your minimum to avoid, any fees. And then your statement date is the date that your creditor reports whatever balance that you're reporting on that date. They take that balance and report it back to the credit bureaus. So you want to make sure whatever, balance that you're reporting, it's 10% of whatever your credit card limit is. I say 10% because you will see the most points in that area if you pay down your credit card 10% or under whatever your limit is. What is best is 10% utilization, 10% or under. I know we were told like 30% is what matters most, but no, you can throw that out the window. I guarantee you, if you pay, your credit card down, or if you report a 10% or under balance on your statement date, your credit score is going to definitely shoot up. Now, I'm going to give you guys an example. Say I have a Discover credit card with $100 limit. 10% of 100 is $10. So I want to make sure that on my statement date, I am reporting $10 or under. For the maximum of points, again, $1 to $9. That's what I want to report on my statement date. And how that will look for me is on my due date, I'm going to make sure that I'm paying my balance off in full because I don't want any interest. So I'm going to pay my balance off in full. Then next day after my due date, I'm going to go to the gas station and I'm going to swipe my card for something super cheap, something $10 or under. I'm going to let that small balance sit until after my statement date passes. So, example, I wrote down my due date and my statement date for one of my credit cards. So my due date, October 22nd. And then my closing date is October 25th. So on my due date, I'm going to pay my balance off in full. The date after my due date, I'm going to go make a small charge. And then I'm going to let that small charge sit until after the 25th. After the 25th, then I'll just repeat the cycle. And by me doing that, my credit score literally jumped up so many points. And when I tell my clients to do that, their credit jump as well. I will say, if you cannot, afford to pay your balance off in full on your due date, that's okay. You need to just make sure that you're working towards paying your balance down, more and more each month. If your credit card is maxed out, try to, put your credit card in your dresser, cut it up if you need to, like put it away. On your due date, you want to pay as much as you can off. Paying your minimum, I mean, if you're in a state where that's all you can afford right now, okay, then just do that to avoid, charge offs and what comes with not paying your bill. But if you have it to pay more than just your minimum, can you please just do that? So you want to pay whatever you can. Try to pay more than whatever your minimum is. You're going to let that balance sit. So don't pay off your credit card on your due date and then go using your credit card the next day. No, you're going to let that balance sit until after your statement date passes. And then once your statement date passes, if your credit card is maxed out, I hope you're putting the card away. But, if you can afford to keep paying, whatever you're using, then okay, repeat the cycle. So yeah, that's typically, well, that is how you want to pay your credit card to see your score shoot up. If you don't know, your statement date, you can simply call your creditor. You can look on your statement. It's going to say either closing date or statement date. So you'll have your due date first, and then after your due date, that's when you'll see, statement date, closing date on your statement. If you need, my assistance, you can always book a free consultation with me. Just when you book, make sure that you know your due date, your closing date, and whatever your credit limit is, so I can give you what you need to do in your situation. That's basically really all. Is really straightforward to the point when it comes to, your due date and your statement date. I personally, I was never taught a statement date. I probably learned about a statement date probably 5 years ago. I never knew that date is so important. I never knew that. So now that I know, I make sure that I tell everyone, you need to know, your statement date, because this is the date that your creditor is reporting whatever you owe. And this is a big part of credit utilization. And as I stated before, 30% of your whole average credit profile, and that's a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this video. I will link my email in the description box. I'll also link where you can book a free consultation with me. As I stated before, if you want, more information on this and you want me to look at, your current situation and tell you the numbers of what you need to report in and when, I'll put that in the link as well. You can book a free consultation with me. Please take advantage of my free consultations. That's pretty much all I have for this video. I hope this is very useful for at least one person. If you guys have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.